I'm one of the best players of Mechabellum, and here is a guide about free units for you. So the unit drop appears on random rounds like this. First drop is round 2 to 4, second drop is round 5 to 7, third drop is round 8 to 10. An additional rule is that a unit drop cannot come 2 rounds in a row. Let's start with focusing on the first unit drop. Always pick an item on round 3 if there has not been a unit drop. If you haven't seen a unit drop before round 3, it's guaranteed to come on round 4 and it's going to be a big unit, so hold your item for one turn and equip it on a newly recruited high level target for maximum value. Equipping something like a heavy armor on a high level rhino puts you in a game winning position. Don't unlock 300 or 400 cost units before the first unit drop. The first set of units will give you a free direction or a free counter to the enemy board. Don't spend 100 to unlock a scorpion or wraith or 200 to unlock a fortress or an overlord. Wait to get them for free. Build a cheap all-around board before the first unit drop. For example, having 4 packs of sledgehammers or 7 packs of crawlers on round 2 is a good way to lose to an early scorpion or fire badger drop. Stay flexible to include and counter unit drops better. Unless a unit drop fixes a big problem you have or provides the exact direction you want, take the money instead. All the units in the pack have different monetary value. Very often the best play is to pick the highest supply value pack and start selling. Don't take any units before the first unit drop. For example, a technology that could sometimes be very good early game is replicate for the crawlers. However, the enemy will just get a hard counter from the unit cards and you have just wasted a lot of economy to only win 1 or 2 early rounds. The next section is general rules, information and strategy about the unit drops in general. Don't pick unit drops for roles you already have filled. For example, if you already have a Vulcan and there's a Typhoon choice and it's still looking pretty good on your board, if you pick it, the enemy will pick something to counter the Vulcan you already have, like a Fortress. And now it will counter both your Vulcan and the Typhoon and you are in trouble. If your board state is looking mostly good, you need to pick the unit that counters the unit that counters your current board. Make big plays on unit drop rounds, not before. Double taking your crawlers with impact drill and replicate, leveling all of them and building more of them might look like a strong play on a certain round. Then comes a unit drop with multiple fire badgers and your newly teched army will be barbecue. On a unit drop round, envision what the enemy will pick, how their board will look like after the round and commit into a counter. This way you have multiple turns of advantage before the next unit drop. Deploy high-level free units inside your main army. You might be tempted to throw a big unit in the enemy flank or chase a tower from some other direction, but the high-level free units are usually very strong and are a big problem for your enemy. Keeping them protected with your chaff and whatnot makes them a lot harder to counter. Picking a big boy to rush a tower and selling it next turn is still a legit strategy sometimes, but generally not. In later stages of the game, you need to counter cheesy unit drops. Sometimes you have low health and you are in danger of dying in one turn. Then comes a unit drop with something like a level 3 Wraith or a level 6 Sabertooth. With field maintenance, they could tank your entire board. You either need to do the same thing to your opponent or counter the potential threat with a melting point. If none of the unit drops seem good and you have too much units to sell, pick the one that counters the other 3. This is a very advanced play, but if you feel very far behind in a game, it's a good gamble to not counter the latest enemy threat at all. It's either 33% or 50% chance that the unit drop comes next turn. Sometimes when you are behind, you need to take some risks. If the latest threat of the opponent is a fortress, for example, you can just wait for the melting point and pray to not die before. If you survive, you are usually in a very strong position to win, an already lost game. You can block problematic unit drops with certain specialists. So how the unit drops work is that the options are given from a pool of locked units. The pool has by default all the 0 unlock cost units like marksman, arclight, whatever, and you cannot block them. But for example, unlocking a melting point with a giant specialist will prevent it from appearing in the unit drops. Sometimes this doesn't work if in late game the pool doesn't have enough units, so it will fill it up from the unlocked pool. There's still one more tip, but if you like the video, please subscribe. I'm gonna make a lot more of these guides, and I already have a lot of them made, so check them out after this video. Now to the last tip. So this is a different kind of tip, but in later rounds of the game you run out of time really quickly. And sometimes you know you don't need any kind of new units and you just wanna sell one unit and get your like mass fort going, mass melting point going, build a war factory, whatever. So the fastest way to calculate which makes you most amount of money is to use the unit upgrade cost. So the formula is level plus 1 times the upgrade cost. So for example, the Sabertooth's upgrade cost is 100 and the level is 5. So it becomes 6 times 100 minus the 50 it cost at the right bottom. So it's 550. Same as the Vulcan. It's 3 times 200 minus 200, so it's 400. Same as the Typhoon. It's 4 times 150 minus 100, so it's 500. And the Hacker is 2 times 100 times 3 minus 100, so it's 500. That's at least the fastest way for me to calculate it. Hopefully it will work out for you as well. So that's it. Hope you liked the tips. After this video, go watch my chaff guide. It's really important if you haven't seen it. Many players don't know when they should deploy crawlers or fangs. This video will explain it. There's also like my general rules for the game. Go watch that video as well. And about this video and its future, like this game is constantly changing. If you are watching this many months in the future, maybe years in the future, I would suspect my rules here hold for quite a while. And if the unit drop system has been changed somehow, you see what the rules were at the time of recording. So just adjust the rules to it, and I think it should be fine, right? Hopefully. Thanks for watching.